You know, I am not one for unnecessary hyperbole. I'm not going to exaggerate for views because I believe that my integrity is worth more than that. But in all accuracy, hand to Sky Daddy, the movie I'm going to talk about is, without a doubt, the worst movie I have ever seen in my entire life. Never have I been more confused, frustrated, and bored than I was with this film. A movie that fails at every single thing it tries to do. I believe that this movie was made to be bad on purpose, which is already annoying, with the hopes that it would one day become one of those culty, so bad it's good movies. But it even fails at that. It's just a bad movie. Strike that. The worst movie. The worst movie I have ever seen. Thankskilling 3 is the worst movie I've seen in my life. And now, like a big hairy spider that falls dead from the ceiling and plops right into the gravy boat, it has ruined my Thanksgiving. And so now I'm going to spread that knowledge of it to you so I can ruin your Thanksgiving as well. Happy Thanksgiving. Pass the gravy.
Gobble, gobble, mother.
Last Thanksgiving, I talked about a little film, a B movie. Can we even call it a B movie? It's more like an F movie, as in, what the F did I just watch? Thankskilling, a horror comedy that centered around a centuries-old vengeful turkey that is on a mission of vengeance. And he slices and dices his way through several annoying teenage characters. Teenagers played by men and women in their 30s. You know, horror stuff. Now, although I did not enjoy this movie, I could not deny that it did have a certain low-budget charm and camp to it, and despite its badness, desperation, and more than a few extremely problematic scenes, it was hardly the worst thing in the world. It was followed by Thankskilling 3 a few years later, and no, I'm not skipping a film in this trilogy. The second movie is literally called Thankskilling 3, for reasons I will unfortunately get into in just a moment. Thankskilling 3 is a sequel the way Gremlins 2 was a sequel. It's an anti-sequel. Only unlike Gremlins 2, Thankskilling 3 lacks any intelligence, nor does it say anything about itself other than it freaking sucks. Take Thankskilling and subtract the small morsels of wit, charm, and an occasional funny line and any fun gore and kills, and you got Thankskilling 3, a movie so awful it should be classified as a war crime. Now, I know that whenever I do movies like this, I customarily do a rundown of the plot, and I'm going to do that now, but as I do this, as I talk about this movie, you're going to think that I am abusing substances or have suffered recent brain damage. I assure you, I have not. Not recently. The events I'm about to describe actually do happen in this movie. This was a purposeful attempt by grown human beings to make a motion picture. And what they came up with is what I'm going to describe to you. Even as I watched it, I was wondering if I was hallucinating. It turned out no. Unfortunately, I was not. I thought for a minute one of my ulcers popped again and I was dying of blood loss on my bedroom floor. It's too bad that wasn't the case, because that only means that I have to live in a world where Thankskilling 3 is a thing that exists. The movie opens with a topless woman floating lifelessly in space, because this is the kind of movie we've signed up for. This is the kind of movie we deserve. This is letting us know what we're in for. Something lifeless, pointless, completely unsurprising, and something that's gonna stink in a few days.
Nice!
Yeah, you're not imagining things. That is the exact same joke that he opened the last movie with. That's also the level of originality and creativity that we're looking at in this film as well.
In space!
So the turkey is in space now, because of course he is! Oh my God, what is this movie?
Good shooting, Turkey. Ah, Captain Pilot.
Okay, you know what? I actually like that Star Fox reference. That is obscure enough and nerdy enough that it appeals to me. And that's one of two things in this movie that I like, even in the smallest degree. Buckle up, kids, it gets worse from here. So the reason why this movie is called Thankskilling 3 is because Thankskilling 2 has been pulled from release because it is the worst movie ever made. No, I'm not saying that as a joke. That is the actual plot that is described through terrible expositional narration. It kind of shatters suspension of disbelief because I'm currently watching the worst movie ever made. So Turkey wants to get his hands on the only copy of Thankskilling 2 because he can use it to take over the world or something. Honestly, upon hearing this premise, I got a little excited because I was ready for a movie that was a meta commentary on itself, full of self-degrading humor, referencing its own badness and stupidity. And all I got was a bad college humor sketch that just didn't know how to end. Hey kids, do you remember how much fun WandaVision was? Have you ever wondered what the premise would look like if you hated the cast and it was stupid and it just made you want to die? You're about to! So in this sequel, Turkey is apparently an actor who appeared in the Thankskilling movies, and he has a family at home who he hates, and honestly, I don't blame him. If this was my family, I'd hate them too. It's also very telling that we're 10 minutes into the movie, and they're already ripping off jokes from Team America World Police. Oh no, look how bad the child turkey looks. It's okay, they're being bad on purpose. Turkey becomes enraged because he finds out that his movie was shelved and his killer instincts kick in and he decides to do away with his family. Because of course he does. We've got to be shocking, don't we? Well, if we can't be funny, we have to be shocking because that's the same thing, isn't it? That's what I'm assuming people who don't know how to be funny talk.
Gobble this.
The turkey and his wife decide to split in a trial separation. You see, movie? That is how you write death puns. Turkey spares his son for some reason and goes out to find a copy of his movie. So, wait, is this movie going to be Turkey versus David Zaslav? Okay, I take everything back. You go, Turkey.
Buzz, buzz, buzz. I'm so hungover right now.
I take back taking back everything I just took back. What the heck even is this film? We are now introduced to Yume, and yes, she's a puppet. Why not? Why not turn this movie into a puppet movie? Why not make this into a Muppet film that makes you want to rip your eyebrows out with pliers?
I don't see no stupid piece.
Who dares awaken me?
Hey, who said that?
And that voice makes me want to drive a nail into my eardrums just to escape it. Yume wakes up without any memories because she's lost her mind. That's supposed to be her mind. It doesn't look like a mind. It looks like something that I saw in 8th grade biology class. Yume talks to a sentient trash bag and meets an animated cat because this movie is completely unhinged, and I don't mean that in a good way. I mean that in the way that the writers were obviously on something when they wrote this movie, on sheets of thin toilet paper and magic marker in a very smoky room. I'm assuming, allegedly. No defamation. Regardless, Yumi, by astonishing coincidence, finds the only copy of Thankskilling 2 in the trash. There's got to be some kind of parallel here, but I'm just not seeing it. It's then that we're introduced to Uncle Donnie, one of 2 human characters in this entire film. Oh, You thought I was kidding when I said it was a puppet movie, didn't you? No. This guy, the news anchor, the topless astronaut, and this other guy we're about to meet are the only human actors in the movie. The rest are puppets because obviously we did something wrong in a former life and deserve to be punished. Let me put it to you this way. Was the Happy Time Murders too sophisticated and thoughtful for you? Then you should love this movie. And if you love this movie, I hate you so much. Uncle Donnie is the inventor of a device called the Pluckmaster 3000, a device that can pluck and cook a turkey in seconds and totally won't contribute to the plot in any way later. You know, I know he's annoying, but I'm actually getting kind of fond of the little turkey kid. I can't wait to see what this movie's going to do with this character next. Oh. Turkey sucks the soul out of his dead son. A lot like this movie is sucking the soul out of me. He does this in order to use magic to locate the missing DVD. At the same time, Donnie brings Yume home because she gets it in her head that she will find her mind at Thanksgiving, even though she doesn't really know what Thanksgiving is. Donnie is also an idiot because he literally brought home a person that he found in a dumpster and he doesn't know. But this is not what I would call a thinking man's movie. Here we're introduced to another crude and rude puppet, a rapping, sex-addicted geriatric woman named Flois. It's not often that a character comes pre-flanderized, but here she is.
Sitting on 13's wheelchair, hella clean. I used to knit and sew, but now I'm off that BETV screen.
I hope you get used to this because this is her entire personality. Yume is introduced to Donnie's friend Jefferson, who doesn't like her very much.
He's trying to rile me up. Rile. You! She attacked me!
Same, Jefferson. Same. Yume runs around the kitchen searching for Thanksgiving and her missing mind, screeching and screaming like the most annoying 2-year-old brat in the world. She is so irritating that no one realizes that the turkey boy's spirit has entered the room and possessed the DVD. Yes, the spirit possessed the DVD. I didn't write this. This actually allows Turkey to see where the DVD is located. It's like Sight Beyond Sight from Thundercats. Only it's stupid. These two guys, by the way, have a plan to build a theme park called Thanksgiving Land. They're sure that the park, based around Thanksgiving, will be a huge hit and a big success and a moneymaker, which honestly so far is the most plausible thing that this movie has offered up. Maybe I'm just being mean here. I mean, yeah, Thankskilling 3 is bad, but it's not like it tries to milk every lame joke that it can to the point that it just becomes unfunny and then becomes unfunnier, because that would be so frustrating and make this movie absolutely unbearable. Thank goodness it doesn't do that.
Huh? Oh, I get it. Let's get the pike through here. I'll get it with my pike in a sec. Hang on, sorry. Got it caught on this. And reaching. 1 second. I got it. I got this. Hang on. Oh, I'm running out of length on this thing. Hopefully the real deal is a little longer. Get that damn light switch! Son of a... It's... See, you get in there, it's the little... It's such a tiny space. Yomi, can you reach? What? I get it. Jefferson, I get it. God! Son of a... It's tricky. Got it!
I hate this movie so much. I hate it. I hate this movie so much. This is the worst. I hate it. I freaking hate it. Jefferson, you see, has this weird obsession with spears, and he has a hallucination that a spear has arrived just for him, but it just turns out that it's turkey, and the hallucination is what he's seeing as the turkey murders him. This is all done off screen, by the way, and all we see is a pile of mangled body parts later. This astounds me. Because this movie obviously had a much larger budget than the last one, and the last one had better gore effects. Why couldn't we see some of the movie's budget devoted to the gore? It just seems like a waste of resources to me. Hey, how about we spend a couple of $1,000s to make this part of the movie grosser to satisfy the fans?
Nah, I want to buy a puppet!
Oh, and I really hope you like puppets, because we only have one human cast member left, and he's the only human cast member through the rest of the movie. It's just him. Him and puppets. That's it. That's this movie. It's a puppet movie. So Turkey does the audience a favor and kills Jefferson, and Yume and Donnie escape with the DVD copy of Thankskilling 2 through a pantry that I can only assume goes to Narnia? Yeah, I don't know where that came from, and honestly, I'm just way past caring at this point. Inside Turkey Narnia, they encounter a character called Wise Turkey. This character should have just been called Exposition Turkey because he delivers a joke-free sludge exposition that brings the entire movie to a stop. More than the entire movie has brought the entire movie to a stop. Listen, the only useful thing that happens during this entire exchange is that the Exposition Turkey gives Yume a wishbone and tells her that it will come in handy one day. That, of course, means that it will be used to defeat Turkey at the end because this movie was written by 2-year-olds. I really wish you'd given me that wishbone so I could have choked on it and spared myself the rest of this movie. Did I mention that there's an alien worm in this movie? Because there's an alien worm in this movie. His name is Rhonda, and he rides around on the back of this large robot man named Muff. This is a Master Blaster type of situation, only the Master side is an idiot, and so is the Blaster side, but the Blaster side was an idiot in Beyond Thunderdome anyway. I would call this abomination Blaster Blaster, but Blaster signifies strength, and how much strength could a worm have anyway? Maybe we should have just called him Worm Blaster or Invertebrate Blaster. Why do I feel like I'm putting more thought into this than the people who wrote this movie put into it?
Hello, Muff Industries, Nerdworm speaking.
Nerdworm, I've got a flavor to ask you.
Vanilla.
What?
Yeah, you asked about a flavor.
Boy, you can really tell this is a high-quality sequel because they couldn't even bother to give this puppet a working mouth. He looks like Pat Sajak with too much Botox. No offense to the worm. The cameraman goes into a seizure when he realizes that he's actually shooting a Thankskilling sequel, and the characters end up in another scene because the editor was also incapacitated somehow. Honestly, this movie is so bad, the only way it could get worse is if it suddenly turned into a music video. Aeronauts, they aren't.
Bring it to me, Yomi. I have your mind.
So, after what seems like an eternity of padding out the movie so it qualifies as an actual movie and not just a short, the turkey gets his hands on the Thankskilling 2 DVD, and honestly, the puppetry and editing are so bad here that I really don't know what happened during this part. Honestly, look.
Let's go, Don. 1 horsepower, baby.
What just happened? I should analyze this scene, but I don't want to. Rhonda the Worm and Muff show up and a really bad fight takes place, during which the Pluckmaster 1, the prototype for the Pluckmaster 3000, is reactivated and sucks the turkey in, plucking him and cooking him until he's good and dead, and I'm sure that his death will totally stick this time. Thank goodness this movie is over with because it was about to kill me. Why, the movie has 50 minutes left! Oh, congratulations, everybody. Pluckmaster 1 has become a full character. Another puppet. Aren't we just lucky?
Hi, I'm Runderworm, Earthworm from space. Obliged to meet you all.
Hi, I'm Donnie. Welcome back to Earth. Next time, use the front door.
Okay, for those keeping score, that's the second thing about this movie I liked. A funny line. And that's it. You now know the two things in this movie that I liked, and we have 48 minutes to go. Hey kids, I really hope you like worm puns and exposition, because you're about to get a bunch of worm puns and expositions. And a whole lot of unfunny gay jokes.
Well, I've wormed my way around a few. Done some good Also ate some. Literally. We met on the set of Girthworm 6. Girthworm 6 is where we met, I know, but please, let's not bring it up again, please.
I want to die. Rhonda opens up a vortex in a way that I'm not about to repeat because I'm a grown man with dignity, and I'm not about to lower myself to this movie's standards. Let's just say that it's also a plot contrivance pulled from a place where the sun don't shine. Is that a figurative or a literal interpretation? Yes. This vortex, you see, is a doorway to space where they can dispose of the Thankskilling 2 DVD once and for all. Despite the fact that we saw Turkey with a spaceship at the very beginning, but we're not counting that. Sounds like a great solution, just throw it in there.
Yep, this pretty much reminds me of that time that Marlo Dewmeister ran for president of Planet Skaxkograph.
Just throw it in there.
He was a great leader, but unfortunately he never got reelected for a second worm. Get it? Like...
Come on, throw it in there.
Just give it up with these goddamn war puns.
Sorry, Donnie.
Seriously.
Why are you not throwing it in there? During this needlessly long and boring and useless exchange, the unexpected happens. Well, it's unexpected if you're an idiot. The turkey resurrects and raises an army of zombie turkeys, because that's exactly what a live-action hybrid puppet horror comedy movie featuring space worms needs. Zombies! Why not one more played-out trope? This is already the worst movie I've ever seen. It's not like it can get any worse. What am I saying? Every time I say this movie can't get any worse, the movie takes it as a challenge.
Gravy.
Oh, you do not even assume that you are remotely qualified to parody Army of Darkness. Don't you dare. Donnie sums up all of our thoughts about this movie.
All right, enough!
I hear you, man. I hear you. Okay, so I gotta stop the review for just 1 minute. One thing I did appreciate about this movie is that it shows that even the most evil and depraved and immoral of us can occasionally do good in the world. Even the most loathsome of us can contribute to the betterment of society. And I say this because the next thing Turkey does is kill Flois. Thank you, Turkey. I thank you. My family thanks you. A grateful nation thanks you. The world thanks you. But you have 4 more cast members to go, so chop chop. At this point, the vortex to space collapses. Mind you, these idiots have had almost 10 minutes to simply throw this DVD into it. And they haven't done it. Because if they had done that, the movie would be over and we wouldn't have had a movie. It would have been a short and merciful. But this isn't merciful. This is a feature-length movie. It's not short and merciful. It's feature-length and torturous. Yet another fight scene ensues between the zombie turkeys, and space people, and these other people, and it's all set against some public domain club music because writing a movie is hard, I guess. This movie has more padding than the walls of the cell I'm going to be confined to when I'm done watching it. Turkey attacks Yume and cuts off her arm, killing her and stealing the DVD. Well, I'll say this about the movie. They certainly have no problem steamrolling through their own cast. I kind of respect the courage to kill off a major character like this. Okay, roll credits.
What do we do?
Man, she just needs a hand.
Yeah.
You do realize what she is, don't you? Look around. Every stuffed toy on this planet is inspired by her.
She's a puppet?
No, this is what puppets are based on, man. These things have been around for centuries.
That's the same premise as Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Stop borrowing from better movies and just suck on your own, please.
Go on. Make her talk.
Okay, there's self-referential, and then there's just plain stupid. Guess which one this is? Unfortunately, Yume is brought back to life and decides to follow Turkey into turkey hell through an oven door because it's an oven. To hell. To turkeys. I just got that joke. It was terrible. Yume goes on this quest because she thinks that her lost mind is in there. You know what? If your lost mind has gone to hell, do you really want it back? I lost my mind about 30 minutes into this movie, and I don't want it back because I don't want the self-awareness to know how much I'm suffering on the inside. Yume and Rhonda have to go alone, so they put on disguises to blend in. This, of course, works because this is an R-rated movie written by 3-year-olds.
Hey, Donnie.
What?
Sorry about your family, man.
I'm sorry I turned you off.
Stop it. Stop it. You do not have the talent, nor do you have the right to even attempt to do a deep emotional scene. You stop it. You stop it right now. No. No. Yume and Rhonda find Turkey, who is connecting his Thankskilling DVD, possessed by the soul of his son. By the way, I don't even remember if I mentioned that, and I don't care to look back in the video to make sure, to a machine that has appeared out of nowhere because he wants to stream the movie to everyone on Earth. Thankskilling 2, you see, is so bad that whenever it is streamed to the public, it will destroy their minds and turn them into brainless slaves. So it's basically Tubi. Whoa, 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 don't you dare have another musical interlude. Don't you. I've got to hand it to the bravery of these filmmakers that they made a puppet movie while having absolutely no skills in puppetry. This movie is what Paramount was afraid that Team America was going to be. Turkey sends a Franken-turkey after Rhonda and Yume to...
Sir? You know, I don't want to go by Franken-turkey anymore. I want to be called Blarth.
Oh my God, shut up! Rhonda and Yume escape back into the, I don't know what you'd call it, the real world, I guess. Franken-turkey gets his Franken-face blasted off by Muff, but unfortunately, Rhonda did not make it and dies when Muff hugs him and squishes him. You would think that this would be funny, but comedy takes talent. And there is no talent to be found in this entire movie. Muff, distraught at the loss of his friend and lover, because this movie is full of dumb gay jokes, unalives himself with his blaster cannon, making him luckier than the audience who has made it to this point in the movie and who have already committed to finishing it. You people owe me. Of course, Turkey shows up to get the DVD back, and we're reintroduced to wise old Turkey. I know what joke you're gonna do. Don't you do it. I'm telling you, don't you dare do it.
You shall not peck!
Darn it! What the actual... Oh my God, I hate this movie so much. I hate this movie so much. Strangely though, these are the best special effects in the entire film. While whatever this is going on, Yume and Donnie try desperately to reactivate the vortex, but of course, since they're both stupid, they can't do it. That's when we find out that the worm is still alive, because of course he is. Give this movie a few more seconds and Flois will come back to life. But if she does, I'm tapping out. I don't care what I promise, that will be too much. I can't handle it. Not in my delicate state. Turkey defeats Gandalf Bird as our heroes get the vortex going, but again, just like last time, if they just throw the DVD into the vortex while it's going, they would have been fine. But that makes too much sense. They are contractually obligated to kill as much time as possible until the turkey can show up. That is 90% of this movie. It's just characters screwing around and killing time until the turkey can catch up with them. It's like a Friday the 13th movie where the scantily clad woman running through the woods has to stop and play Scrabble just so Jason can shamble up to her. I hate this movie. I hate this movie so much. My hatred for this film burns with the white hotness that you will find in the center of the densest star. It burns so passionately and so brightly that it would instantaneously vaporize your eyeballs if you were to gaze on it. I hate this movie so much that I cannot remember what love is. This movie has killed the emotion of love within this withered body. This movie is Drek. Scratch that. This movie is what would be if Drek could take a poop. It's Drek poop, and it should be inflicted on no one. I don't care for this movie. That's what I'm saying. Turkey is about to crush the life out of Yume when she remembers what the Gandalf turkey told her and uses the wishbone she's been carrying around this whole time, apparently, to stab Turkey in his neck. Did you honestly think they were going to do something clever with it? Some kind of spell or some kind of deep personal introspection, or maybe even Yume finding her lost mind? No. Just stab. Turkey blows apart just as the vortex starts to suck the pieces of him inside, but he manages to clamp onto Yume's leg, and after a very long goodbye, and I mean long, like there's absolutely no reason why this goodbye should be this long. There's no conceivable reason why this artificially emotional goodbye that means nothing should be this long.
Oh, sorry, I found my old saxophone up in Muff's head. Well, back in the 80s, me and the boys used to go out for Saturday Night Vortex and play a tune.
God, I hate this movie. Turkey, the DVD, and Yume are sucked into the space vortex and into who knows what, leaving Donnie behind. And the worm.
Pretty good song, huh?
Too soon.
Wow, that's a really big piece, Donnie. I was hoping we could collect as many flea scraps as possible for my new hat. That would be a great start for it. What? Still too soon? Fine, let me just wait a minute. Hopefully it's not too soon to ask if maybe you had a spare bedroom that I could crash in. No? Maybe an aquarium?
This is a movie that just doesn't know when to let go of a joke. This is like that lonely old woman who keeps bringing in her dog to the vet when the vet knows the dog should have been put down like 13 years ago. But if I cut off one more tumor, it's going to lose all 4 of its legs. I don't care. I can't let it go. God, I hate this movie. And so Yume is apparently reunited with her lost mind in the woods. I guess. I think that this ending is supposed to be open for interpretation, but I don't want to. Many years later, Donnie and the worm go into business together to open up Thanksgiving Land. I can only hope that Donnie lost his shirt and ended his life in poverty and misery, because that would make me happy. Oh my God, I hated this movie. You may think that I'm exaggerating for the sake of views, but I'm not. I'm using absolutely no hyperbole whenever I say Thankskilling 3 is the single worst movie I have ever seen in my entire life. This film is nonstop, incomprehensible slop. Watching it feels like you walked into the middle of a frat party where everyone's already drunk and their stories make no sense, and then one of them throws up on your shoes and everyone laughs except for you. Only in this case, the only one who's laughing are the people who made this movie because they're drunken frat boys. It reminds me of the way that Andy Kaufman would do comedy that was only funny to himself, only these people are not Andy Kaufman. These people don't deserve to be mentioned in the same sentence as Andy Kaufman. I actually regret mentioning them in the same sentence as Andy Kaufman. Thankskilling 3 seems incredibly inspired by the type of humor that Matt Parker and Trey Stone show on South Park, only this is done without any of the nuance or talent or fun or humor or anything. I would even go so far as to say that the voices of the worm and most of the puppet characters sound a lot like South Park characters, like the creators of this movie were trying to do impressions of Eric Cartman.
Oh, not good, Muffy. Turkey's gonna be pretty damn pissed when he finds out about this.
They're wearing their inspiration on their sleeves, which really only goes to show what hacks they are, and how incompetent this movie is, and how bad it is at doing what it's trying to do. It's bad at being a comedy. It's bad at being edgy. It's bad at puppetry. It's bad at horror. It's even bad at trying to be bad, because ultimately, I think that's what this movie was trying to do. Just like the last Thankskilling, it was trying to purposely make a movie that was so bad it's good. And like the last movie, I'm going to say the same thing I said during that review. That's something you can't do on purpose. We've seen a lot of attempts from The Lost Skeleton of Cadavra to the original Thankskilling. Purposely made so bad they're good films don't happen on purpose. It's not something you can artificially create, mostly because a movie that is so bad it's good was not made to be bad. People believed in it at one point. People put their hearts into it. People wanted audiences to love it, and it just didn't work out for some reason or another. Sometimes it's a lack of talent. Sometimes the story fails. Sometimes it's the writing, and sometimes it's studio interference. But never once did the people behind movies that are so bad they're good ever set out to make a bad movie. And that is what makes a movie so bad it's good, because the creators of that movie put their hearts into it. There is no heart in Thankskilling 3. No love was put into this movie. The creators of this film set out to make it bad, and in that respect, they were successful, because this is a bad movie. Unfortunately for them, it's also not enjoyable. Every minute of this film is a slog, and the next minute makes it even worse. I would say that Thankskilling 3 is insulting, but the very act of being insulting takes some modicum of intelligence. This movie is the shrieking 2-year-old on an international flight. This movie are those tone-deaf kids who sit behind you during a showing of Wicked and won't stop singing along with the songs. This movie is Jim Carrey's most annoying sound in the world from Dumb and Dumber if he had done it for 99 minutes. From beginning to end, this movie is abject misery. It's ugly from the way it looks to the way it sounds, and it's desperate. This movie is so desperate. It is desperate for a reaction from the people watching it, but not talented enough to get that reaction out of the people watching it. Instead, it's just random, loud, obnoxious, never really funny at all. And even the gore was disappointing. Now, the first movie was bad, but at least it had this undeniable, microscopic charm about it. This low-budget cuteness. This movie is something completely different. It's a tonal shift into a territory that nobody really wanted to go. And the movie never justifies going to that territory, because when it got there, the movie didn't know what to do in that territory except be as screechy and obnoxious as possible. Now, even though this movie tells us that Thankskilling 2 is the worst movie ever made, I think I would rather watch that movie than Thankskilling 3. In short, this movie is the worst movie I've ever seen. And everything just seems worse now. It's just that bad. Watching this movie has left me feeling diminished, less of a person than I was before. Oh God, what if that's Turkey's plan? What if he actually did play the worst movie in the world on streaming, and now I'm not on YouTube doing a review of this film, but I'm actually at home on my couch drooling because this movie has turned me into a mindless zombie? But that's stupid. There's no way in the world that would actually happen.